Hello, this is Darren.
And this is Paige.
And this is
Where's the Lemonade?
Where we talk about what happens when life throws you lemons.
Make some lemonade?
Maybe. Some weeks it's lemon squares.
Yeah, some weeks it's just lemons.
Yeah.
On today's episode,
Perspective and how to maintain it.
it's hard sometimes.
Okay, this last couple weeks, we haven't podcasted in a couple weeks. Why is that, honey?
Because of you.
It's all my fault.
You blew it.
I blew it. We were going to be podcasting from Copacabana and Ipanema beaches in Rio de Janeiro 2 weeks ago.
Yes, let's talk about that.
What's there to talk about? We forgot our equipment. That's what it was.
Uh-huh.
No, that's not what it was.
Yes, so we had a extremely busy April on the books. We had Jacob and Andy's graduation in Idaho.
In Rexburg, Idaho.
Yep. So they are graduating from BYU in Idaho on the 7th of April, something like that. And then, so we drove up on Wednesday. Graduation was Thursday. We drove home on Friday. It was that quick of a trip. Well,
just so everyone knows, that's about 1,200, almost 1,400 miles.
Yes, it was very quick.
It was a long.
Oh, but I have to back up a couple days. So we left on Wednesday. Monday and Tuesday of that week, you were in D.C. for work.
I had some meetings, yep.
So it was the meeting that kept on giving.
In those meetings, I caught COVID.
So you and I have avoided COVID for over 2 years.
And it's been in our house.
Yep. So Thursday night, you kind of started feeling bad. Friday on the drive home, you were feeling, but we were just like, it's a cold. Of course it's not COVID. And then Saturday, you were getting pretty sick. So we tested because we had to.
Because on Monday, we were headed to Brazil with Jacob and Andy. Jacob served his mission in Brazil. I served my mission in Brazil. We were going to go, and us boys were going to show our wives how great we are at speaking Portuguese. It didn't happen.
So Darren got COVID. And then what? 8 days later, I got COVID. I thought that I was immune because I tested 5 days.
Was it 8 days?
Yeah, because 5 days later, I tested and it was
right.
negative. So it was 8 days later, I got COVID. So we were home alone, sick.
Yeah, because all the kids were gone.
Yep.
And I thought, all right, we're home alone. It'll be kind of fun. Not
so
very
much.
Fun.
It was not that fun. No.
Not at all fun. In fact, before you even got sick.
Yes.
What happened, honey?
I was feeling sad.
I think sad and mad together. So is that smad?
I wasn't mad. I
think you were a little bit mad at me.
I wasn't.
No? Okay.
I was disappointed at the situation.
That's worse than mad.
But I wasn't disappointed in you. It's not like you disappointed me by getting COVID, even though you did.
See, the truth comes out in these podcasts.
It was disappointing that you had COVID.
It was. So, because we've been planning this trip since Christmas.
Yes.
Or maybe even before that.
It was before Christmas, actually.
Yeah. So we had everything lined out. We were flying into Rio, spending 3 or 4 days in Rio. We had tours lined up.
Yep.
Then we were driving to Sao Paulo. I even had the course laid out on where we were going to stop along the way to Sao Paulo. Spend 2 or 3 days in Sao Paulo. Go down to Falls de Iguaçu, where we had tours. We were going to ride up the river there and right up close to the... Yeah. And come Saturday, it all kind of fell apart.
Yeah, thanks for the trip down memory lane of the memories we could have had that don't have.
Believe me, I've been reliving these... Because I went and canceled all of that. I was deathly ill on my deathbed.
Oh my gosh.
I wasn't that sick. Only for about two or 3 days.
About 2 days you were pretty sick. Never we need to take you to the hospital sick. But it was a bad cold. A really bad cold. I was never as sick as you.
No. Thank goodness.
No, but so that was a bummer. But then we recovered enough. And then we went to Joanne's graduation, she graduated from BYU as well in Provo, Utah.
So we recuperated, and so instead of flying, we had plans to fly from Brazil directly to Salt Lake City and drive down to Provo. Instead, we still flew into Salt Lake. I still gave you a vacation.
That's right. We flew to Salt Lake. We got to spend some extra time with the grandbabies, which was great. And yeah. And with the kiddos. And yeah, it was great. I mean, that part was great. Being with all the kids and...
So explain a little bit, why did you because Monday and Tuesday, you were pretty down.
I was. I still don't know. I don't know why
I mean, I was sick and you were feeling depressed. It was not just sad. It was like, I'm not getting out of bed.
Yes, it was bad. I don't think that the canceling of the trip is necessarily what I was depressed about. I think that was just the straw that broke the camel's back. I think I've been dealing with health issues for so long. I've been just kind of stuffing, how like I tell you to stuff your feelings down. I've been stuffing my feelings down and just been like, everything's fine, everything's fine, everything's fine. I've just been kind of doing that. It's all good, it's all good. And then I was looking forward to this trip. Like, okay, I haven't been feeling well, but now we're going to, have fun on this trip. It's going to be like, this is the light at the end of the tunnel, right?
This is almost like the start of your recuperate. You're done with being sick all the time, which you are. You're not sick like you were.
No.
Yeah. So this was like that moment.
Yeah. It was like, we're going to go have fun. Yeah. So I didn't really want to talk about it with anybody. In fact, a lot of people didn't even know that we didn't go to Brazil because I kind of felt like a little bit of a brat. Like, oh, my trip to Brazil got canceled. Poor me. So I didn't really want to come off that way at all to anyone because I know that there's a lot worse things going on in the world than not being able to take a trip. So I was kind of really keeping it on the down low. Like, I don't know that anybody knows that I was sad that week.
Well, everyone knows now. I knew.
You knew. You were about the only one that knew.
I was the only one that knew.
Yep. So yeah, I was struggling. And then you made me go somewhere. Where'd you make me go?
We went somewhere. We just went out because I was finally feeling better.
Yeah.
And we didn't go I think we just went on a drive.
Oh yeah. You were just like, come on, let's go. And I was like, I don't want to. But anyway, one of those days we went to Bodega Bay because you were starting to feel better and I didn't have COVID yet. And so we went and drove to Bodega Bay.
We went on some hikes out there.
Yeah, that was fun.
Ate at great seafood in Bodega Bay.
And then it was the very next day that I found out that I had COVID.
So you probably spread COVID to all those people in Bodega Bay.
We were outside. It was fine.
But even on Sunday when you weren't feeling well, when you tested, we still got in the car. We went out. All the what are those purple flowers called?
Oh, lupines.
Lupines. All the lupines were blooming out in Folsom Lake. So we decided to just get out, and we drove around, took lots of pictures of the lupines, and just got out of just being in the house, which was great. Took
a picture of our cute little puppy in the lupines.
Yeah, our cute little blind puppy.
I don't think we've told the masses yet. The masses.
The
10 people that listen to our podcast.
It's more than 10. It's at least 12. Our little puppy has a brain tumor. We think. We don't know. We're not going to get an MRI. But she's lost her sight and she's starting to lose her sense of direction too.
Yeah,
so.
It's sad, our little puppy. But anyway, we got some cute pictures of her in the lupine. But anyway, so yes, and then just getting out and being with the family and seeing the grandkids, it helped me. But yeah, like I said, it wasn't the canceled trip that made me depressed. It was just, I think, a culmination of what had built up. And then instead of having this fun thing to look forward to at the end of my recovery, it was just more, yeah, wah, wah, wah. So, but I was trying to keep it in perspective. We kept talking about perspective. Like, there are people in this world that we know right now are fighting for their lives and are wondering what they're going to do with their life and are wondering where are they going to live, and is the father of their family been killed? And I mean, just there's a lot of terrible, terrible things going on in this world right now. And us not being able to go to Brazil certainly does not even
you know
come
what?
close.
Your expectations were already set. So it is hard to put things into perspective, right? I mean,
It is. It is. And I am usually pretty good at pivoting. Like, okay, this isn't what's happening. Let's pivot to this. I had a hard time. Like, I had a hard time.
I know any of you therapists that listen to our show, you can call us all you want and tell us what was wrong with her. I think we know.
We do? What was wrong with me?
Well, you've been stuffing all of the emotions of being sick over the last year down.
Yes.
And it all came out all at once.
Yeah, I think.
But it's out now. I mean,
it is. I mean, I had a good cry. I cried for hours.
And I was sitting there going, I don't know what to do. Most of you guys know what I'm talking about, right? Or girls.
I was going to say, I'm usually the one that deals with.
What? I had a good cry on the airplane last night when I was flying home. I did. I watched.
What did you watch?
I watched Moulin Rouge and cried.
There you go.
Yeah, I didn't watch the whole thing, just the sad parts. I needed
good. You needed a good cry.
A good cry. And then I watched what's that? La La Land. I watched La La
wow.
Land.
You were really trying to get
I was really trying to get all the emotions out.
That's funny. Anyway, so I usually pivot better. I didn't pivot, and yeah, I was depressed. Like I was not just sad. It was a rough week. I'm not gonna lie.
But perspective. But by Wednesday or Thursday, you had your good cry. We turned things around, and then we talked about we need to do a podcast on perspective.
Yes, that's exactly. And you really helped me. Well, there was one night that you were demanding that I go out, and I said, I'm not gonna. I mean, you just want to go for a drive or something, and I said, no, I'm not. And I really meant it that time. Like, I really didn't want to go out. But then I think the next day you did say, hey, let's go. And I said, okay, let's go. Because I always say, you can get one day. You get one day to stay in bed for your pity party. You get one day. And I needed that one day. Let me just have my pity party. Let me just sit here and watch some sad crime shows. And
I watch musicals. She watch How to Kill People.
Yeah. No, not how to kill people. Oh. It's people trying to get off on how to get away with killing people.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so Paige, you did a bunch of research on specifically how to handle challenges. We had a challenging year. We really have.
We did. And like you said, you and I were talking about how does anyone maintain perspective when going through hard times, right? So not just that your trip was canceled, but you're going through a divorce, you're going through financial troubles, you're going through sickness, whatever it might be. How do you maintain perspective on there are worse things happening in this world, and I need to be, grateful for, what I have.
Whatever you do have.
Yes. So I found an article, as we always do, on strategies to help us maintain perspective when we're going through hard times. Now, let me just tell you, I did not write this article, and I do not agree with all of these things, as you will find out when we talk about them.
So there were 10 things that they came up with to help you overcome challenges or disappointment.
Yep, 10 strategies. So first one, find a way to learn from the challenge. And yes, the first thing I did was go blah, 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 blah.
Oh, I gotta
find a way to learn. Yeah.
But
it's true. It is true. Now, when you're in the middle of your sadness, depression, financial crisis, health crisis, right? It is really hard to go, oh, I can't wait till I find out, at the end of this what I learned, right? No, you can't do that. That's really a remarkable person that can do that. Most people cannot. But hopefully when you are coming out on the other side, you can say, hey, what did I learn from this, right?
Well, and also I think what's cool about this also is if you can have perspective afterwards, then when you go through a similar disappointment, you'll come out of the other end okay.
Right.
Right.
And in the article, it did say, wouldn't life be much easier if we never made the same mistake twice?
Yeah, we do though.
We do. So, but yes, so find a way to learn from whatever you're going through.
Okay, the next one is be accurate. So what in the world, I can't imagine, I know what this is about. I understand. Don't exaggerate the situation.
Yeah, don't let
My life is over because...
Yes, exactly. And you're letting your emotions take you to a far, far away galaxy.
So, explain, honey, where did your emotions take you?
I don't know that my emotions took me far, far away. They took me to a dark, dark tunnel.
Okay. Well, but isn't that hard? I mean, how do you recognize that? You just say, I need to be accurate. Just say, hey, what is really going on here?
Right. You do. You just need to try and be level-headed about it. Not so, I like what you said, dramatic, right? Like, I'm not really that kind of person. I'm not I'm like, just let me wallow for a little bit. But I mean, my head was going to dark places. It was. And, you got to be careful. You got to be careful going down those dark tunnels. You got to try and pull yourself back. And for me, it's getting out in the sunshine typically.
Hey, getting outside.
Yep. Feeling the wind on my face and the sun on my face is like healing for me. Yeah. So anyway, be accurate.
Okay, next one. Ask yourself what you can do about it.
I actually really like this one because...
Oh, you liked one of them.
No,
I love it that you read these things and you go, whatever.
Yeah. And I like this one because I am not the glass is half empty kind of person. So I do not believe in focusing on the negative. Like, in fact, one of our kids, when we work with him with homework, he's literally telling us over and over again about how awful this is and why do I have to do this?
And he spends all his time trying to figure out ways to not do it.
Yeah, and I'm like, dude, you could have been done with this. Like, I don't get that. To me, this is what has to be done. Do it. But anyway, so what can you do about this? Can I do anything about not going to Brazil? Nope. Nothing I could do about it. Could I, you know what I mean? Like,
well, hey, we came up with some strategies.
Yes. In that moment, there was nothing we could do about it.
Yeah. But no, we came up with some strategies in that moment that were not very good.
What strategies? What are you talking about?
Well, I tested positive on Saturday. Our trip was on Monday. We were like going, well, we don't have to test to go to Brazil.
Correct. We just had a test to come back.
We had a test to come back. And then we said, well, could we trick the test in getting back home?
You're telling all of our listeners that we were...
And we says, man, that's really rotten for us to even think that.
We said we shouldn't be doing that.
No, we shouldn't.
We shouldn't be getting on a plane with COVID.
But we spent a good 2 hours.
We did.
Going, I took the test 4 times.
4 times.
Because the first one's obviously wrong,
yes,
right?
It's wrong.
Because we've been planning this trip forever.
I know. And it was our time with Andy and Jacob and we were like, when are we going to be able to do this again with them? Because they're starting new jobs. And so it was, so we did. You're right. What can we do about it?
So we thought a lot through things, some irrational thoughts.
Some irrational, put Vaseline up your nose thoughts. But we did not do it. We did not act on any of them.
No,
we did not act on those.
We did not spread COVID.
We did not.
At least very far.
We were very good. But we did have some irrational thoughts because my thoughts were, before COVID, if we would have had a cold, we would not have canceled our international vacation because we had a cold. Because that's what our symptoms were. I'm not saying that all people that have COVID have a cold. But because we've been vaccinated and boosted, we had pretty mild symptoms. So we were just like, why would we cancel an international trip for a cold? Well, because we have to test to come back to the United States. And we wanted to be responsible, even though,
Even though we didn't want to be responsible.
We didn't. We had a couple hours where we were trying to think of how irresponsible we could be and still be good parents and good people.
Good people in the
and
world.
we decided that we couldn't do any of the things we were talking about and still be good parents and good people.
But then we called Andy and Jacob immediately after we decided, and we said, hey, we're not going to go. We can't go, but you guys can go without us. They decided to not go without us and go at a later time. So then there was something we could do. Get on the phone, change our plane tickets, change our hotels, whatever we could do.
Yeah.
Right. So there was something that we could do about it.
Yeah. Focus on the new plan.
Right.
Yeah. So, okay. So, yeah. So ask yourself what you can do about it. And then it says to listen to the answers and focus on solutions. I love this one, actually. I really, really love it. Don't wallow in, okay, you get a day. That's it. A day.
I only get an hour.
5 minutes, please.
5 minutes. Okay. All right. Next one. This one I'm horrible at. Except, no, I'm good at part of it. Exercise, eat, and sleep. I'm good at the eat part.
Sorry. It was supposed to say eat healthy food.
Oh.
Yeah.
It just says eat.
Yeah.
So
no.
Exercise, I'm not great at. Eat, I'm great at. Sleep, yeah, it comes and goes.
What this means is when you're going through something challenging and hard and difficult, take care of yourself.
Well, get your endorphins up.
Yes.
You need that vigorous exercise. That's a great thing.
Exactly.
I know when I was going through situational depression,
yeah,
that exercise was the only thing that really kept me moving forward every day.
Yes. There's something about that sunshine, I'm telling you.
Getting out there and just, yeah.
But yes, eating healthy and getting good sleep. Because for me, getting bad sleep, I'm a disaster. After a couple of days, I'm emotional. I'm a disaster. Yeah. So yes, eat and sleep. That's something else we could talk about. You're snoring for the first time.
Yeah.
Because he had COVID.
I had COVID, so I started snoring.
So guess who went to sleep in the guest room?
Not me.
Not you, mister. I've already been giving my cooties all over this bed. So
I made sure I coughed on her pillow and sneezed on her side of the bed.
Yeah, that's awesome, babe. Thanks.
Yeah, well, you're welcome.
So yes, I went and slept in the guest room. I was going to sleep in the guest room anyway because you had COVID.
Right.
But
I'm hoping that the snoring has gone away.
Yeah, last night there was no snoring.
Yeah, so, you don't have to worry about that, honey.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'll buy you some earplugs.
Thanks. You're sweet. All right, number 5, maintain a positive attitude. I feel so about this one.
I think you're hilarious. You have a pretty positive attitude.
I do. Well, no, that's what I'm saying. I feel like that's already ingrained in me to have a positive attitude.
This one's a little bit more than just have a positive
attitude. It is, exactly. That's why I feel so about this one.
This one's count your many blessings.
Yes,
that's what this one is.
Yes, exactly. Focus on the positive aspects of your life. Like I said, when you're in the moment of something going awry, it's hard to do that. So once again, Paige's personal opinion, you get a day, you get 24 hours to wallow. Take your day and then move on.
Well, that can be hard for some people.
I know it is.
Right? But it takes effort.
It does. Some people really have to work at that because sometimes you're in a really bad spot. I mean, we know that, right?
Well, I think we've talked about this a little bit before. Realize that your worst day is probably someone's best day. Is that later on? Or is that this one?
That is...
No, that's this one.
No, it's not.
Oh, all right. I skipped ahead. We'll get to that one later.
But yes, hang on to what you just said. Okay, number 6, realize that the situation is temporary. That's a good one to hang on to, right? When you're in a few days, you're not going to feel like you feel today. Like, you know what I mean? It's whatever you're going through, you are going to get to the other side of whatever you're going through, right? Like terrible things have already happened to you in your life, I'm sure already. You have come out on the other side. So just realize it is temporary. Whatever you're going through, you will start to feel better.
So would you almost say you could focus on where you'll be at the end of, or is that too hard to guess? You know what I mean? I'm going through something tough. Can I focus on where I'm going to be on the other side of this hard thing I'm getting through?
Yeah, like visualize.
All right. Hey, after this, I'm going to be in this situation.
Yeah.
That may be hard. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a person like that. I'm just, I think I can look at it and go, hey, okay, I'm not going to feel this way forever. I'm only going to, and just each day that goes by, I think you'll start to feel a little better. But just keep reminding yourself, I'm going to get through this. I'm going to get through it.
Okay, this one, I know this works really well, and you do too. We've talked about this before. Find someone else to help. Serve
someone. Yes, it makes you get out of your, right? Everything's spinning right in your world right now. Everything's spinning right here. It's all about me. And which maybe rightfully so, it's all about you. But if you can just focus on someone else and, hey, you know what? Someone else is having a really bad day. I'm going to make them some cookies, or I'm going to go help at the homeless shelter, or I'm going to go give food to the refugees, whatever it is. I'm going to take some flowers to my next door neighbor. It doesn't have to be big.
It could be, you're right. It can be small things, but it starts getting you from becoming so internal.
Yes.
And selfish, frankly.
Right.
That's what it is.
Yes.
You're combating selfishness. And when you are feeling depressed like that, believe it or not, it's very internal.
Yeah, it is. And this is where we say there are people all over the world that would trade their best day for your worst day.
Okay,
so let that
the time
soak
I'm
in.
supposed to say that?
Yes.
Oh.
So now's the time. But let that soak in. I read that and I went, wow. Somebody else who's having we think we're having a hard time. Think of people that have had their homes bombed and their countries invaded, and you know what I mean? I mean, there's a lot of really terrible things going on in the world right now. The people fear for their lives, right? They would definitely trade their story right now for your story of not being able to go to Brazil, or you know what I mean? Or having some temporary health issues. They would probably love that.
One way that you can kind of empathize with them is going out and helping other people.
Yeah.
All they maybe need is just someone to smile at them.
Right. Yep. So true. I like that one.
All right. Next one, ask for help. This one's tough.
This one is really tough, actually. Really tough for me. I'm not good at this at all.
Yeah. If you're having a rough time getting through or a disappointment or something, well, who do you help? Who do you ask for help from?
Yeah, you have to think about the people that you feel safe with, and that's the thing is I never want to be this burden, so I don't want to ask people for help, right? Because you just go, I got this, I'll take care of it. I don't want people to be like, oh, she's.
Well, you also don't want people judging you either, do you?
Yeah, you don't want people judging you.
Oh, she's disappointed because she doesn't get to go sit on the beach.
Right, exactly. You don't want so. Yeah, so you got to find someone, just one person, and. I don't think I ever asked you for help, but you were there to help me.
Right. You know, when I was in a bishopric years ago, we had someone that was driving through and just needed someone to talk to. So they came and talked to the bishop and myself. And it was really fascinating. They just needed someone to unload on all the disappointment. They were very depressed. They were not from Arkansas, where I was living at the time. They were from Oklahoma, and they were driving through, and it was great. You could see that just getting things off their chest and just talking to someone about it, that it just relieved so much stress off of them. That when he left, it was actually a really good feeling. So you'd be amazed. There's lots of people that will just listen. Yeah. And that's all he needed.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. All right. Find the silver lining. What do you think about that one?
There was no silver lining us missing Brazil. I tried. I
you
tried
actually
really hard.
you did find a couple silver linings. You said that there was an outbreak of yellow fever.
Oh yeah, there was an outbreak of yellow fever in one of the areas where we were traveling.
And you said
I was searching all over for silver linings.
And the other thing you said was there was something going on there that you said we were.
Oh, yeah. In Rio, they have not had Carnival and the dances in the Sambadrome since COVID hit. And they decided normally this happens Mardi Gras in February, but they decided to do it right when we were going to be there. So Rio would have been just mass full of people. It would have been crowded. It wouldn't have been nearly as much fun as we were hoping that it would be.
Yeah. So there was our silver.
Okay, there's our silver lining.
Yep.
All right, thank you, honey, for finding it.
You're welcome. You found it. I just had
Oh,
to
I
point,
did. You
I
just
just had to point
pointed
it
it
out
out.
to you.
Yeah.
Yes. And the last one, which you already mentioned, visualize a positive outcome. Whatever. I'm not a
No.
visualize a positive outcome. I don't know.
You know, hey, when I went through my divorce, it was very hard to visualize a positive outcome. There was no positive outcome.
Right. Yeah,
Right.
it's hard to visualize that sometimes, right?
Maybe it's visualizing where you'll be at the end of it.
Well, so the article said, in many respects, you get what you expect.
Oh,
Right? So,
I got so much more than I expected after my divorce.
yeah, you got me.
I got you.
You got me. So, sometimes you, if you expect very little, right? If you expect nothing,
You'll get nothing.
you'll get nothing. So
Interesting.
if you can visualize something happy and positive coming out of the other side, then maybe you'll get it.
All right. So there you go. Take a look at our blog. There's a link to the article there, and I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah. So we'll end with, your perspective can make all the difference. A negative outlook can make finding a solution much less likely.
So have a positive outlook, and maybe you'll get what you want. Okay, for our Lemonade More Than Week, we got lots of lemonade, even though we had some pretty big lemons.
We have lots of lemonade. Jacob, Andy, and Julianne all graduated within a 2.5 week time frame. Or 2 weeks, yeah, a little over 2 weeks. So that's awesome that we had 2 of our kids and a daughter-in-law graduate.
And they all have jobs. This
Yes.
is awesome, you know.
So awesome. And at Julianne's graduation, all 10 kids were there. That's the first time in years that we have all been together.
So, and we got through family pictures with no crying.
I cried a little bit. No, I'm just-
Oh, I did too. That's right. I did cry.
You did cry because you were like seeing all the kids together and you're like, oh, you did
Yeah,
cry.
I did cry.
Yep.
All my kids. But no one was yelling at each other. This
No.
is awesome.
No, and it was talking about lemonade from lemons. The weather was really good the day before the pictures, really good after the pictures. The day of the pictures, it's pouring rain, it's
Hail.
freezing, it's hailing, it's windy, and this is the only day we could do pictures. That was it.
Our pictures were outside. They were going to be in this foresty area.
And I'm just like, seriously? So we drove around the night before the pictures to try and find another place, which we did. We found this cute little creamery that was adorable, and we went in and said, they had an overhang outside. And we said, can we take family pictures outside of your place? And they were so nice. And we're like, absolutely. We'll block off the driveway for you. I mean, they were.
So here's a call out
so
to
nice.
the barn
barn.
in Spanish Fork.
Yep. Such nice people. And it was so cute. The place, I mean, hopefully we've seen a few pictures. They look like they turned out great. But yeah, which if they do turn out great, we'll give a shout out to the photographer. We got to wait and see. If you like today's episode,
Give us 5 stars on iTunes, Spotify, Google.
and head to Facebook and like us,
And check out our blog at where'sthelemonade.org.
where you can leave questions and comments.
But most of all,
Go out and make some lemonade.
you betcha, baby.